Daughters of Russian tycoon worth $18 billion want off Canada's sanctions list, but minister says no.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Canadian government has denied a request to lift economic sanctions imposed on the daughters of a Russian billionaire and alleged close associate of President Vladimir Putin. Maintaining your listing helps Canada achieve its goal of preventing sanctions evasion by eliminating options for those supporting or facilitating the Russian regime. Canada has sanctioned more than 2,000 Russian individuals and entities to pressure the Putin regime over its war on Ukraine, suppression of dissent and global disinformation campaign. The departmental report that recommended keeping them under sanctions said their father was a top Russian financier, and the measures prevented him from trying to evade sanctions via a close family member. Canada is a member of a group of countries that launched the Russian elites, proxies and oligarchs task force to seal gaps in sanctions, the Global Affairs Canada report said. The task force identified various instances in which Russian elites transferred their assets to their children or spouses, either in the period immediately leading up to a sanctions listing, or closely thereafter. 305 Canada announces new sanctions against Russia following Navalny death.
This post received a score of 6,100. With an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Canada did the right thing. Congrats to the minister who decided that.
Canada is very pro-Ukraine. We have the largest Ukrainian population in the world outside Ukraine and Russia. Our deputy PM is Ukrainian and studied in Kiev.
Super true. I'm from Saskatchewan, Canada. My wife's grandparents are from Ukraine. We regularly eat pierogies. I've seen the Vigraville egg. We always attend the Ukraine Pavilion at Folk Fest. You don't have to go far in rural Saskatchewan to find someone Ukrainian.
So the daughters are confirmed to have received significant recent financial support from their dad, and the task force that specializes in implementing sanctions against Russian oligarchs says the most common way to avoid sanctions is through their immediate family. Sounds like they're throwing a fit because they're being prevented from helping their father avoid sanctions.
Yeah, also gotta wonder who paid that legal team to oppose sanctions in a country that they apparently neither live in, nor do business in. I have a hunch that the legal team money didn't come from selling digital art and t-shirts with cats and dogs motifs. But, who could say? The only thing more obnoxious than rich people is children of rich people. Anyway, thoughts and prayers for those poor ultra-rich oligarch kids. Must be really rough.
Maybe they could head over to North Korea and spend daddy's money in North Korea?
It's interesting because they live in NYC and Tel Aviv. What exactly are they trying to do with property that involves Canada or Canadians? Trying to move here for some reason? Airbnb? Selling property in those locations worth tens of millions? Maybe they're trying to sell a few of their father's yachts? I am still learning about how these sanctions really do work against individuals.
Exactly. The fact they tried to request it then tried to prevent people from finding out makes it pretty obvious Canada was right not to lift the sanctions. Best case scenario, their reasons are that they're rich and want to be able to jet set wherever they please. No Russian oligarchs should be removed from the list. Putin wants to be able to move money through various countries, so he has every reason to let a few oligarchs say they don't support him to facilitate this. It's not a choice. If you control an industry in Russia, then Russia controls you. No exceptions.
Can I get a fuck no?
Hell, Canada and Israel should just deport them back to Russia.
They do not live in Canada. In fact, they are only on Canadian sanctions list. Their father has been removed from the EU list back in April.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.